Hello and welcome. My name is Thomas McGee, and in this video, I'm going to give you a behind-the-scenes look at our brand new onboarding sequence over at Notable Themes. Okay, so I'm really excited to share this one with you today. Recently, as I mentioned, I went through the process of creating a brand new, from scratch, completely automated sequence for welcoming new people over to Notable Themes. So Notable Themes, if you're not familiar with it already, is a place where I create and we sell WordPress themes and plugins for independent professionals, for bloggers, for small business owners, and people who generally just want to create a presence or a brand on the web. So what we found is there's a huge educational factor that we wanted to incorporate into Notable Themes, so that if, regardless of whether or not anybody ever purchased anything from us, we wanted to make sure that we provided an adequate amount of information and education about what it means to create a WordPress-based platform. So rather than doing what I've done in the past, or what a lot of people still do, which is that, you ask for somebody's email address in exchange for maybe a PDF guide or something like that, what I did is I went ahead and I created a dynamic, smart, automated sequence that actually has a series of videos and learning content that's all tailored to the specific person who is receiving them. So you might be wondering, okay, so why are you going to show this to me? And I wanted to show you a little bit, I wanted to give you this kind of behind the scenes look of what we created, mainly so that you could use this as kind of inspiration for your own, to take your initial drip sequence to the next level, or if you don't have one yet, to begin the process of thinking one through. The whole goal here, from our perspective, number one, is to offer very much that educational aspect of it, right? We want to deliver people a lot more value than just a simple guide. We want to give them a process and a lot of tools to use to help them grow their business, like I said earlier, regardless of whether or not they actually decide to become customers. So that's part one. Part two is it gives people a more in-depth experience and interaction with Notable Themes, right? So rather than just receiving one email with one PDF download and then forgetting about us, they get a series of emails that go over time. So there's a lot of benefit to this, and I think you're going to start to see it as I show you the behind the scenes. So let's go ahead and dive in. What we're looking at right here is the Notable Themes front page, and what we've got is a pretty standard front page. I probably showcased this one in the past before, but the whole idea here is every single call to action is the exact same kind of starting point where people can begin the process of going through our sequence. Okay, so if I were to click start for free, you'll see that people have this headline where they can get instant access to our free theme and plugins. And we do something different here, right? And this is really vital to how this new workflow works, in that we don't just ask for the first name and email address, or in this case, email address. We want to know a specific piece of information that's going to help tailor the training or the tools that we give them. So we ask the question, how familiar are you with WordPress? And so there's some options. I'm new to WordPress. I have some experience with WordPress, and I'm a WordPress ninja. So what we do with this is when somebody fills this out, we actually place them in a different sequence based upon which one they pick. We've got one sequence for the first two and another one for the third, because we consider the third doesn't necessarily need to go through our WordPress training. They probably have enough of an understanding of WordPress not to need all of that training. So let's take a look under the hood at what this actually looks like. We're using a tool called ConvertKit, so I highly recommend this. If you do not have ConvertKit, I'm going to go ahead and place a link below this video. That's going to give you a 30-day free trial. So if you do not use ConvertKit, or if you use another one, highly recommend it, because they're going to make the tools that we're using here, or the sequences that we're creating, super easy. So, okay, so here we go. What we've created here is a sequence, or an automated kind of workflow that enables a person, based upon what they select, to go through a different sequence. Okay, so these are 3 different forms we've created within ConvertKit. All that this means is that I've created and formatted this in 3 different ways so that it can be placed throughout the site. Bottom line is it's all kind of leading to the same funnel process. Okay, so what happens is that when someone goes through and they subscribes through one of these forms, they're going to get a tag added to them, the Start Now 2.0. This is just going to let us know on their profile that they have filled out a form to start this sequence. Okay, then what we do is we tag them as a prospect. So I know that this person has not yet purchased anything. So you might be wondering, well, what if they have purchased something and they have gone through and filled out that form? So we've actually got a separate automation created specifically for this. So if I go back over here, client prospect tagging, we've got a separate workflow that's completely automated that will do this as well. So if they get either of these tags added, and it says if they have a customer tag, then what we want to do is remove the prospect tag. So what it is you can only be a customer or a prospect. If they already have the customer tag, it won't get added, and this kind of handles that process. Okay, so then back to this, we'll see that they've got that prospect tag added. And then if they are a customer already, then this will just kind of get ignored. It'll be skipped. All right, and then we're gonna do a little check here. And this is an if-then statement, basically saying if this happens, do this. So do they have the tag Bucket 3 Pro? So what we've done is we've created 3 buckets. Bucket 1 is beginner, bucket 2 is intermediate, and bucket 3 is a pro. So I wanna know if they selected that I'm a WordPress ninja, we're gonna go into this email sequence. If they said I'm a beginner or I am intermediate, go into this sequence. All right, so then each of these are individual email sequences, and let's take a look at those individually. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this one since this one is the professional one, so not a lot of people go through this one. But here's the first email they receive. It gives them direct access to our themes and plugins, along with a quick getting started video that they're gonna receive. So this is an email that they're gonna receive automatically. 4 days later, we give them a video that could give them instant access to everything. This is gonna tell them about our Notable Pro subscription and some limited time bonuses that they can get. Then there's another follow-up email that gives them a little bit of a testimonial based upon the things that I've used and worked well for me. Follow-up email about some of the bonuses that we're going to give them, and then kind of a deadline as to those particular bonuses expiring. And then the final email is just a kind of a thank you for ending the quote-unquote welcome sequence. The whole idea here is there's a lot of people who just go through a sequence, and then when it ends, it just ends, right? So what we've done with this sequence is tried to take the time to just thank them, and then going beyond the sequence, we actually provide a number of other free resources that they can access at any point in time. Okay, so that's if somebody is a pro, right? So if they say I'm a WordPress ninja, they go through a little bit of a quicker, shorter, more simplistic sequence. However, let's take a look at if somebody is either a beginner or if they are a intermediate. Then we're gonna take them through a little bit of a more complex, longer, simple for them, but on our end, a little bit more complex of a workflow. So rather than just getting a direct access to the plugins and to the themes, we give some instruction with it. Now, if they want to, we've got a little line in here that says if you want to get direct access to our free themes and plugins, you can do so here. So we've got a video for that. However, if they want to go through our process, we give them video 1 in a series of videos. So let's go ahead and click on one of these and take a look at what that looks like. So as you can see, it's going to give them 1 of 4 videos where we actually walk through this individual person who is watching. We walk them through how to use WordPress, and not just how to use WordPress, but how to use it to build a business. So we jump back here. We see that was the first email that they receive immediately. A few days later, they receive video 2 in this series, which is going to teach them all about the fundamentals of the WordPress admin. So each video it gets sent out a few days apart from each other. So you see video 3 is going to be a few days out, and then they're going to get video 3 along with some a bonus PDF download to help them with that process. 3 days later, we're going to kind of do a follow-up with them, and we're going to be kind of preceding or leading up to a link that they're going to receive where they can receive a whole bunch of bonuses if they sign up for our Notable Pro membership. But you can see there's an all access link here. So let's go ahead and let's click that real quick. So if we were to receive that email. Let's take a look here. Yeah, that should be opening up in a browser window, but it's not. But if they were to click this link, you'll see then that takes them to video 3 in this series. And all of these kind of build upon each other to all work together. You see they get the PDF checklist as well. And this whole thing that you're looking at right here, this series of videos, is actually utilizing our launch theme. So if you want to be able to create sequence-based evergreen launches, I'll leave a link below this video to get access to our launch theme over at Notable Themes. Okay, and then the last one is just a special link which has worked within it a tag that gets added to everybody who receives this particular email. So let's take a look at what this email looks, or this final video looks like. So if I were to access this, what's going to happen to the user clicking this email is that they're going to get tagged as having clicked this. Now this video tells all about our Notable Pro membership, all the tools and resources that are included. But the really unique thing about this is that this particular page will actually expire based upon when the user signed up. So it's kind of like, if you're familiar with Jeff Walker's product launch formula, very much follows that same style or that same formula, but it's on an evergreen basis. So it's all dependent not upon when the sequence is created, it's dependent upon when the person signed up. And then there's just some follow-up emails as well as a free tool that we've created that's kind of the WordPress platform assessment, which tells them the specific tools they're going to need to grow the type of platform that they're building. Some bonuses that we include if they sign up for Notable Pro as a part of this sequence. Again, similar to the other sequence that we had created, there's a last call, kind of those expiring. And then again, similar to the other sequence, an area wherein people can, this is kind of our final thank you email that people will receive, at the end of the sequence. And here's something that's really unique about this. So this email right here, right? You see they're all kind of spaced out from one another. So, 3 days, this is 1 day. Once somebody purchases a Notable Pro membership, so let's say they click this link and purchase a Notable Pro membership, this is actually designed now to stop sending. Because if they've already purchased Notable Pro, we don't want them to continue to receive, these follow-up emails over and over again. So what happens is that they're filtered out. So we're able to see that if they've unsubscribed from this welcome sequence, or if they have purchased Notable Pro or Notable Pro Ultimate, then they will be completely removed from this sequence. So it's a powerful way to give people only the messages that they want to receive. So that's a really quick, broad overview. There's a lot of other things packed in here, but the cool thing is that ConvertKit makes this so very easy. But that's kind of the basics of how that particular sequence works. Okay, so let's jump back over here to the automation sequence. Okay, so now let's say we've gone through, and so those are those two different paths that people can go through. Let's say they're a beginner, they go through and they purchase Notable Pro. So here's what happens then. So they purchase Notable Pro. They can either receive the standard Notable Pro or Notable Pro Ultimate. And here's the cool thing. If they've clicked the sales page that I showed you earlier, then and they have not completed the welcome sequence, meaning the sequence is not over, then they're going to get this special email which contains a ton of bonuses. But if they let the welcome sequence expire, they're not going to receive those bonuses. So that's how that was worked, all within ConvertKit. So very dynamic, all based upon tags and the tagging system. It would probably take an entire series for me to go through all the intricate details, but I just wanted to show you a little bit of what's involved and what ConvertKit can enable you to do if you use it in tandem with something like the launch theme. Okay, so then let's jump back over to this sequence, and you'll see at the very end, once they've completed this welcome sequence, they're going to receive a tag that says completed this particular welcome sequence. And that's pretty much it. I know there's a lot in there, but what I wanted to do was just share this with you as kind of a bird's eye view of our whole process that we created, some of the dynamics that are built into it, just to get you thinking about your own. What's really neat about creating a sequence like this is that you can deliver more value to people for free. Now, hopefully, we want people to purchase our products and services, and that's great. That's always an area where we can offer and deliver even more value than we can for free. But this has been created and developed in such a way as to help people in various stages along the journey. So whoever it is that is your target audience, your target customer, start thinking about different buckets or different levels that people are when they are approaching you. Are they beginners? Are they intermediate? Are they advanced? And can you tailor your teaching to those particular markets or segments of your markets to be more successful for them? Okay, so hopefully you found this useful. If you did, as always, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.